in VOD watches. I know that I've been saying this a lot lately, but we are doing something a little bit different today. In that we are jumping in for TCG Pocket for the first time on stream. So today we are going to be opening at least 50. Well, I mean 50 plus was the the moniker that I wrote, I suppose. Let's boost. Oh, whoops! I meant to boost both my camera and the. Oh, I see what I've done. Whoops. My bad. Let me put this in here. Okay, now we should be able to make it. There we go. There we go. I mean, that'll do. That'll do. Yeah, so today we're opening a ton of the brand new set, courtesy of the Pokemon Company International, who've hooked us up with 300 free gold. Of course, we've got to go post all of our thingos as per usual. So I'm going to post a tweet out this time, which it's a bit of odd timing in that, obviously, it's the brand new Pokemon Go move update. But the truth is that, I've posted a video about that over on the main channel. And it's kind of a case of like, well, we can only know so much until they release the energy values, which isn't going to come until they actually go live in a few days' time. So I think that's Wednesday Australian time, Wednesday morning. So let's send out the Discord thingo live for some. Oh, actually, maybe I'll post it in the announcements channel. Like, oh, no. I just posted something in the announcements channel. I posted in the actual normal one, but I will grab the graphic that I just used in the tweet that I just quickly edited myself into. Okay, we'll grab that guy. At stream chatters, live for some TCG Pocket, opening 50 plus packs of the brand new Triumphant Light set. And we'll grab the Twitch link. Thanks to TPCi for the free 300 gold to open these packs with. Okay. I think that's all of the general business well and accounted for. Other than I'll post out my the Discord, the Twitter link. I'll post that on the Discord as well. Remove all embeds. Oh, and I did indeed get Pocket. I know this has been long requested. And my usual answer in the past was, like, oh, look, I really do enjoy the TCG, but I'm more of a TCG live kind of guy. But we're going to give it a roaring go. I have sort of jumped in and opened some packs, done a bit of battling to sort of, figure out how this all does end up going for me, get a bit of a vibe. And so today I'm planning on going through opening over 50 packs. And here's my idea. My plan is that I'm going to collect all of these cards, and I'm going to try and build a deck out of these, the cards that we get today, and try and get some wins through with it. That is basically the game plan. Yo, Wade, welcome in. I am a Pocket gamer now, and yes, I've succumbed to the requests. Thrilled. So we have a lot to get through today, is basically the idea. So obviously, and again, it is a big day. It's Pokemon Go Move Update Announcement Day. It's not even like a Pokemon Move Update Day. Obviously, that's going to be on Wednesday. I'm planning on streaming Go Battle League on that day as well. But I will, maybe I should do like a YouTube intro or something. Cause like this is inevitably going to become a PvP Josh video. So, we may as well do it properly. Oh, I do realize that you can't read chat very well, which I can kind of quickly fix. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the picture that I've used in the background, and thanks Emma for the link spam. I'm just going to put a little bit of a black background behind the chat so that you can actually see chat a little bit better. That is just what I'll quickly do now. So let's go shapes. Let's go rectangle. Let's go black. Let's go add a layer. This will all be worth it. Behind Pikachu, sort of here-ish. I don't know how tall it goes. How tall does the chat box go? It goes up to, it goes above that first Butterfree. Okay, so maybe like here-ish. And then I'll set the transparency to, I don't know, something in there. Okay. That should work, I think. Let's hit save. Save. Booyah. Now, how does that look? Okay, that's a lot better. That's a lot better. We can rock with that. Coming up a bit of the either. Appreciate it. Love Pocket, and so shall I now. Let me close this paint window because it's got little buttons all over my screen. Is the stream lagging or am I lagging? Or like, what's the... Okay, it's back after I closed paint. Okay, so let's do a quick little YouTube introduction, I suppose. I guess I'll just leave it on this screen because, like, why wouldn't I leave it on this screen, I suppose? So, say hi to YouTube, folks. So, what am I going to say? I don't know. Let's see. We'll vibe it. G'day battlers, and today we're doing something a little bit different because today we're going to be opening over 50 packs of the brand new Triumphant Light set that have been released into TCG Pocket over the last few days in celebration of Pokemon Day. And I guess in celebration further of Pokemon Day, the Pokemon Company International has hooked me up with 300 gold, which is going to help me open these over 50 packs. And essentially the game plan today is we're going to try and build a competitive deck out of the cards that we pull and, you know, see how we go out in the wild. It's obviously it's the Wild West. No one is completely confident in what this deck is going to do, how this deck is going to go, and so really we'll just have to figure out. Look, it was a bit dodgy, but it's the PvP Josh channel. It doesn't matter too much at the end of the day. But all right, so okay, well, we can just start opening cards, I guess. So obviously on top of the sort of 300 gold that we've obviously got our free booster packs and such. So which is why it is 50 plus. We're going to be able to open a few extras. And so there are some really nice looking. I'm a big fan of cards like this that are sort of, you know, that real world vibe. I don't know how competitively viable it's going to be. And that's really what we're, I guess, going to be focusing in on today. So we got the Bronzor, we got the Houndoom art, which is kind of crazy. The Snorunt, the Sudowoodo. In the back there. And so really we're just going to be looking for, I think the big part of this particular deck is the Arceus or Arceus. I'm going to say Arceus because I think that's correct. But I think it's the big Arceus EX. Yeah, my collection is pretty small. Okay. But this set is essentially all built around the Arceus EX card, and essentially there's a lot of Pokemon inside of this set that become even stronger if there is an Arceus EX on the field. So for one, we're going to have to try and pull some Arceus EXs, or else we are going to be in a bit of trouble. Oh, whoops. I needed to actually claim it. I've got it in the little gift tab. I've seen nothing from this set, so this is exciting. Plenty to see, I think. Okay. So we can claim that 300 gold from the Pokemon Company. And to celebrate Pokemon Day, we've actually also got a few bonus sets that we will be opening up that have a guarantee of some pretty special cards as well from older sets, which could really help to sort of round out our decks. So we'll open those towards the end. But for now, let's just sort of crush on through, open up these Arceus packs, use gold, speed this thing up, and also just use all of our hourglasses because they're sitting there. And essentially we have to try and get some Arceus EX cards so that we can use all of the cards in this deck that are boosted by Arceus EX. And I'm sure we'll be able to see some examples of that pretty soon. We've got the Nose Pass. Krogunk is actually going to be a pretty important one because I know that the Toxicroak in this set can be pretty powerful as well. Clefable. During the opponent's next turn, attacks used by the defending Pokemon do minus 30 damage. That's not too bad. And Medicham maybe did just get a Pokemon Go buff in Dynamic Punch, but not so much here. Gengar, your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. That could be pretty useful. It's only 2 energy, which could be pretty handy, although you do have to get all the way to that 3rd stage evolution. Celestic Town Elder. The supporter cards are going to be pretty important as well. Put 1 random basic Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. That could be pretty handy if you're in a tight spot, but when you've only got 20 card decks, I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. But, you know, another Medicham. Eevee is also going to be a pretty big one because I know there is a Leafeon EX card in this deck, so we certainly need those 1st stage evolutions. Origin Form Dialga. Time Mash. Flip a coin. If tails, during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. Doesn't seem great to me, but, you know, we'll see if we get desperate. If we get no pulls through these decks, then we might need to dip into it. Frostlass, this attack also does 10 damage to each of your opponent's benched Pokemon. That could be a pretty good setup Pokemon if we end up with a water deck. I'm not sure how much waterage is really going on in this particular set, but we'll see. Magneton, Snorunt, we get the Gibble as well. I know that Garchomp EX is a big part of this deck. Oh, hang on. Did the sound go out? Is the sound gone? Test, test, test. It seems like it's still on my end. At least the bars are all shooting up on the OBS. I don't know if someone else can confirm that it works, but I don't know. I can hear Steve. Okay, yeah, it sounds like it's an error issue, which, I mean, we love to hear in the sense that the stream is still working, but hopefully it can get figured out soon enough on Ann's end. But ignore me, Twitch app froze. All good. Another Origin Formed Alga, Eevee, Zubat. And actually, that's a pretty sick card. That looks nice. I'm a big... Look, obviously the cute Pokemon are always the best, but I hope that there is an Azumarill card that is competitively viable so that I can run this card, because this looks sick. That's awesome, actually. Staravia, another Eevee, Gabite, Mothim, Manectric, Bronzor. Okay, we're getting plenty of duplicates, including the Marill that we actually like, which again, because in your deck you can have 2 of each, that's not too bad, to be honest with you. I will definitely take that to the bank. Another Marill that isn't as pretty, but you know, it's still a nice card. There it is, the Leafeon EX card. So once during your turn, if this Pokemon is in the active spot, you may take a grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your grass Pokemon. So it is essentially just an energy accelerator for grass decks, which can be really, really powerful, especially when it's got, you know, a decent enough attack of 70 damage. It does cost 3 energy, and you've got a decent health pool of 140 HP. It is like, it's not the greatest card of all time because obviously it is an EX, which means that the opponent's going to take 2 points every time they KO it. But I think it's going to be a pretty solid foundation for a lot of decks. And so we'll definitely keep that one in mind as we sort of keep opening these packs, trying to create something that is a bit competitively viable. Speaking of competitively viable, this Arceus is definitely worse than the sort of Arceus EX, but it does sort of give us some ability to set up our things though. Has Debbie seen that card? I don't know. I don't keep track of what Debbie knows and doesn't know. You'll have to ask her. Grass already has so much energy acceleration. Yeah, Grass deck's about to go nuts. Honestly, paired up with like Celebi, for example, Grasses could go pretty crazy. Okay, this is interesting. Fighting Headbutt. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Pokemon EX, this attack does 30 more damage. That's a possible 50 damage for only 1 energy, which could be pretty decent, but I think there's probably other cards that do that a little bit better. We've got the Mawile here. If your opponent's active Pokemon is a Steel Pokemon, this attack does 30 more damage, so that's pretty specific. I don't think that's going to be super useful. We get the Raichu. Okay, this is the first one we're seeing that it has this sort of Arceus link that really gets boosted by having an Arceus around. So, it's a Resilience link. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, this Pokemon takes minus 30 damage from attacks. Now, I don't think this is one of the best ones. It's sort of, I guess, decent for the early game if you can get an Arceus onto the bench. But, you know, this attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon while doing 40 Pokemon in the lead. So that could work pretty well, but I don't know if there's a lot of... I should be saying lightning, not electric, but I don't know if there's a lot of lightning stuff that is super useful around these parts. Leafeon Celebi Superior will be very good. It's shuddering to think about. The acceleration is going to be pretty wild. Starly, Houndoom again, Marill again, Noctowl again. Okay, that's our first 10 packs. Well, I guess first 11 packs because we opened up one before. We haven't seen the Arceus EX card yet, but we'll get there. We've still got plenty of packs to go. Bing, 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 bing. Wow, 3 extra cards. We're going to open such a high proportion of our overall cards in this stream. We'll get there though. We're going to register them all to the set. You can see that we've got 75 sort of, I guess, you know, known, recognized little slots here, but there's going to be a lot down the lower end that we have not seen yet. So let's keep ripping, I think. I haven't really got like So far, I know that we're only 10 packs-ish in. I'm not seeing the vision of the deck so far. So hopefully we can pull a little bit more. So anyway, jump straight in. We somehow managed to pick back up one hourglass. So that'll do the trick for us, I guess. Okay. Next 10 packs. Jumping on in, we've got the Hoot Hoot, Clefairy, Mawile, Donphan. During your next turn, this Pokemon's rolling spin attack does plus 60 damage. Oh, so it's like a rollout shenanigan. Interesting. So that's actually could be pretty deadly, a 60 and then a 120. If you could get something like a Sabrina to bring out a weaker Pokemon, get the KO, and then set yourself up for an even bigger KO in the back, that could be kind of crazy. Obviously, there's no Sabrina in this particular deck, so we might have to look at maybe using some openings to try and open up some other sets, but we'll see what we can do just within this particular deck. And actually, speaking of, here is another Arceus card. So, once during your turn, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, you may do 30 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Oh, that's sick. That's even from the bench, so you don't have to have Crobat in the active spot. You can just have it on the bench and sneak in some big damage, which could be kind of crazy, but you've got to introduce that sort of dark energy pool, I suppose. So I'm not sure if it's worth it, but we'll see what we end up with. Hoot Hoot, Snorunt, Heracross. Actually, I should have read Heracross because I think it's actually pretty decent. Or maybe it's not that decent, but it's usable. Bronzong, this attack does 20 more damage for each energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Okay, that would be pretty decent to sort of just have sitting in the back, waiting in case to try and decelerate the opponent's speed, I suppose. Also pretty handy that it's just using colorless energy. You don't need the steel type energy, which is pretty handy. I didn't read the Heracross again. Oh, Unknown. Okay, we've got another 1-star card. Check. In capitals, like full capitals, because it's like the unknown letters, which is pretty funny. Once during your turn, you may choose either player, look at the top card of that player's deck. Okay, so you can either look at the top card on your deck or the top card of the opponent's. I don't know how useful that is in TCG Pocket. Like in the sort of main series TCG game with the full 60 cards, I could really see how that could be incredibly useful for you. But I guess like maybe it can give you some sort of insight into whether you should use like, throw Professor Oak in, or if you go for a Pokeball, or what the deal is. But I feel like for the most part that isn't incredibly useful, but it does look pretty sick. And actually it's got the letters for the check in the card as well, which is actually pretty cool. Should be able to use Crobat without using Dark Energy. Oh, okay. I see, that's my lack of knowledge coming in. Got it. So you do actually pick the energy you've got. Handy. Okay. Ghastly, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent reveals a random card from their hand and shuffles it into their deck. Now that is interesting. I feel like in Pocket, sometimes you really are holding onto cards that aren't very useful to you though. I don't know if it's super viable, but I guess it's if you want to set up that Gengar card that we got a little bit earlier. And Barry, okay, we need the supporter cards. During this turn, attacks used by your Snorlax, Heracross, and Staraptor cost 2 less colorless energy. Okay, it could be useful. Depends what we end up putting into our deck, I suppose. Here's that Haunter for that sort of middle of the pile as well. Okay, now here's that Azumarill card. If we wanted to use the Marill, fancy card, it's pretty simple. It's 2 energy for 60 damage. It's got 100 HP. It's not an amazing card by any means, but I don't think that it would be a guaranteed bring. Interesting. We've got another Arceus one though. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, this Pokemon has no retreat cost. And then its attack does 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Okay, so that's not a brilliant card, to be fair. But it sort of is what it is, I guess. By the way, most of the good item supporter cards are in the shop, so you'll probably need some of them. Yeah, that was actually something I didn't mention is that I did intend to sort of use those sort of shop promo A cards like Professor's Oak, for example, because like you just can't get those in any of the sets. And they're sort of like mainline, like you've sort of got to have them in every deck. So we will be using them as well to build our 20. Now, I've seen a lot of discussion about this particular card, and it is one of the worst cards of all time in TCG Pocket. It's 3 energy, you need Grass and Psychic. It discards 2 random energy, does 120 damage, and you've only got 120 HP. It is just not that good. And it's got a 3 retreat cost as well, which is it's just one to avoid, which is unfortunate because like you can see the inspiration from the mainline TCG game where like they've got that really powerful Giratina card. I was running it for a while in TCG Live, where, you know, you do discard 2 energy every time you use this attack, but it's such a strong attack and you've got so much health that you can usually, stay around even longer. You've got other item cards that can really help to get your energy sort of stacked back on that just doesn't exist in the same way in TCG Pocket. So it's pretty terrible, at least with the cards that are currently available in Pocket, but, you know, we have it now, I guess. So that's sure something. It is pretty bad. Pretty bad. And another set of repeats. Oh, we just missed the Snorlax. Whoops. I accidentally passed by the Snorlax, so I'm not sure what it does yet. We'll recheck after us. Oh, wait, can we? Oh, no, we can't. But we've got Fiona here. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep. For 2 energy and 60 HP, I don't think that's going to quite work out for us, unfortunately. We can now check that Snorlax, though. What does it do? For 4 energy, this Pokemon is now asleep. It does 100 damage, but obviously we've got that card that can make it cost 2 energy less, so that's still 2 energy for 100, which isn't too bad, but, you know, then Snorlax does go to sleep. So usable, wouldn't say need to use. All right, we're up to 351. Oh, and there's the Heracross as well. Flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, this attack does 70 more damage. So that could be a pretty interesting one, actually. You've got a 1 in 4 chance of getting an extra 70 damage in. It does cost 3 energy, though. We'll see if we go the grass route, I guess. Fill up our little Pokedex here. I'm sure there's an actual terminology for it, but I like the term Pokedex because it's even got like decks in it. It is what it is. Okay, next up. Open another 10. Okay, we're 20-ish packs in. Let's keep on riding. We haven't seen Arceus EX yet, which hopefully we get there. Here's another Marill. We're getting a lot of repeats. I just need that Arceus EX because otherwise we're going to have to run the Arceus card. And we don't really want to have to run the Arceus card when Arceus EX exists, but hopefully it's in here somewhere. That's Raichu, Magnemite, Golbat. Oh, okay. I like this art a lot better than the other Houndoom. I'll be honest. No disrespect to the previous artist, but this one is pretty sick. Is it usable? During your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon can't retreat. That actually is kind of usable if you've got a fire deck going on. So maybe with 100 HP, it's not too bad. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll think about it, depending on what else we end up with. We've got the Krogunk. We haven't got the Toxicroak yet. Another Krogunk. I was kind of hoping that it might just go straight into a Toxicroak in the back, but no such luck. Vespiquen. This Pokemon also does 30 damage to itself, 120 damage. I don't know if that's awesome. I guess the only reason that this card could work is because you have, paired with Leafeon EX, you could really get that grass acceleration going on. And so maybe it doesn't take too long to get up to that 3 energy to do 120 damage. So that could actually be a pretty solid closer, to be fair. The Staraptor as well. This Pokemon also does 20 damage to itself for 130. Same archetype. It's just that it's 150 HP and it's not a grass type. We've got the Larvitar. We haven't seen the Tyranitar yet either, but really nice. This is great art. Like, I love the sort of cartoonish style, to be honest with you. This is like the ultimate art style in my mind. I mean, the ultimate art style is like the sort of old clay-made Pokemons, but still interesting. There's just better grass cards, I feel. Still usable, though. Yeah. And again, when we're trying to stick to what we've got, it is what it is. But I know that there's a good Magnezone card in TCG Pocket, but I don't think it's the one that is in this particular set, unfortunately. So, as much as I would love to be able to use these, really solid cards as well. But here's Arita. Heal 40 damage from each of your Pokemon that has any water energy attached. Now, that isn't even specifically water Pokemon. So if you just bring some water energy into the battle, you can kind of just, splash it onto your non-water Pokemon with the, intent of healing it up with Arita. I'm not actually sure how to say it, but That could be some interesting tech, depending on how much we need it. Here it is! Yes! Okay, the Arceus EX, 140 HP, Fabled Luster, so it can't be affected by any special conditions. That's, sleep, poison, etc. And Ultimate Force, that's 70 plus. This attack does 20 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon. And it's a basic, so you can get it literally at the start of the game. Obviously, it takes 3 energy to get up, but again, Arceus it's not just about being a good attacker on the field. It is about buffing all of your other Pokemon that sort of have those abilities that make them even stronger when Arceus EX is on the field. So this is basically a must bring, seeing as we're trying to build, a deck out of this set. Hopefully we can get a second one so we can sort of increase our odds of actually getting an Arceus EX off rip, but really happy to pick this one up because this is sort of the main try and get outside of, going for the actual sort of, immersive and such. Very glad to see that one come through. But Mothim, Gabite, and we've got the Cherrim as well. I think Cherrim, not super useful, I don't think. I think the other Cherrim's actually got a little bit of usability, potentially. I'm not too sure. But a lot of Meta-type action as well. And there's the Fione. I don't know. So I didn't pre-plan what a deck would look like before going into this stream. All I sort of prepared was I sort of did a little bit of looking around. I was like, okay, what seems to be useful? I sort of just scrolled through the cards and was like, how could I build something out of this? Because if you sort of look at the typings, there's not a lot of water, for example. We're seeing a lot of normal, a lot of steel, dark, fighting. I guess there is a lot of water that we haven't seen yet, to be fair. So maybe we shouldn't be too quick to judge now that I think about it. Just a little bit more. Go through another little bit of gold. Get in some more package. And here we go. Give it our best. Okay. We need a second Arceus EX. Other than that, a second Leafeon would be good. So we could get that going. And then, we could get some immersives. We get some just sick cards. Because then we'll be just more inclined to use it. I think the Overcast Cherrim could also be useful. I'm a little tempted by the Gengars and such as well. Origin Form Palkia, flip a coin. If heads, this attack does 60 more damage. Again, the fact that it costs 3 energy isn't awesome, but, it's not too bad of a card if we're really up against the wall and trying to go in on a water deck, which Barboach could be a part of, I suppose. Adaman. During your opponent's next turn, all of your steel Pokemon take minus 20 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. I don't know how useful that is. Obviously, there is a lot of stealage within this particular deck, but yeah, I'm not too sure. And there's the Great Giratina again. Okay, we get another one of these, very nice Marils. If only there was a Zoom rule to match it that we might, come across one day. Starly, Electrike. Okay, Shaman. As long as this Pokemon is on your bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 less. That could be a really useful sort of, supporting Pokemon. The only thing is you really don't want to get stuck with it because the ability reads as long as this Pokemon is on your bench. So it's not like, if it's the first basic Pokemon you get, you put it up front, you can just retreat it straight away. You will actually have to give it an energy to retreat, and its attack costs 2 energy. So it's not the perfect card by any means, but it could be usable depending if we have some sort of big retreat cost Pokemons. And there's the real nice Magnetite again. Oh, I only just realized that it says pack number, it said pack number 7 up the top left. We've got the Barboach, Magnemite, Irida, Larvitar, and there's another Shaman. Houndour, Manectric, Haunter, Larvitar, and Mothim. Okay. We're just going through the bulk sets at this point. Fione, Staravia, Marill, Clefairy, and it's nothing in the back. It's Noctowl. I do like that you can sort of tilt it. Oh, wait. Does that mean there's something in the back? I feel like that might mean there's something in the back. Okay, Manectric, Hoot Hoot, Snorunt, Nosepass, and we've got... It's an Origin Formed Alga, so not too fancy. Oh, well. The card art's honestly so good. There are some pretty cards. They certainly are. We are also we're going to collect a bunch of sort of rewards and such from these tasks. We'll use all of those to open up even more packs, basically, is the idea. So Send them all in. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 new cards registered. Still got quite a few gaps to fill in before we sort of try and get some decks going. And of course, we're going to use those ones from Pokemon Day as well to, maybe get some useful EXs from other sets. It may not be from this set, but, hey, it's part of the Pokemon Day celebration. So can we really complain? Nose pass, Ghastly. Here's another unknown, which also has check. And also, again, I just really like that it's sort of like, it does spell check with the unknowns that are available. I think that's pretty sick. Really reminds me of that Chatot card. Oh, okay. Toxicroak. Here it is. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Do 20 damage to this Pokemon instead of the usual amount for this special condition. So it's sort of introducing Toxic instead of Poison, which in the main series games just does like extra poison damage. Like it's sort of extra shenanigan-y, I suppose. So that could be pretty dire. It only costs 1 energy. Kind of unfortunate that it doesn't actually have any other attacks. So this could be something that you pair with something like, the Skyform Shaman to try and sort of bring it in, get it out for the 1 cost, and then just keep bringing it into toxic stuff. I don't know. It's not as good as I sort of hoped it might be, but, it is what it is. Josh, we need a new video with the PV Poke Sims, please. Please. Hi Timmy, we'll get I just uploaded this morning the brand new sort of I guess I did some analysis on it all on the PvP Steve channel. I uploaded it was sort of just looking at what are the move changes, where's the energy and damage likely to land. Please beneath the content. Sorry Timmy, here was the actual squeeze is that I've got to go in like 2 hours. And I'm going to be gone for the weekend. So it was like, this was a terrible weekend for the meta reveal to actually come out. This was not ideal for me. So I got up early in the morning and was like, all right, let's do some stuff. let's record, get the video out, because I just wasn't going to be able to through this weekend. And then I'll plan to do more sort of when I get back. So on Monday, I'm planning on posting a Willpower Cup Meta Simplified. And then maybe a Devon Illusion Cup Meta Simplified the same day, although it might get pushed to the Tuesday, depending on. And then originally I was going to make a Fuecoco deep dive shenanigans, sort of looking at the different move sets, but I'm not sure if I'll have the time. So I'm not going to commit to it at this stage. But, this is a stream that I wanted to do. I just also didn't have room to do it in sort of the next week. So I was like, we can just do it now. We can just, open these things up. And I actually really liked that Magnemite art as well. I know I sort of skipped over it, but I'm a fan. Bronzor, Burmy, Motham, and there's another Origin Form Palkia. Gabite, Haunter, Staravia, Cherum. This is also kind of useful-ish in that your opponent's active Pokemon is now confused. 40 damage, it is stage 1, so you've got to evolve it, but it's not too bad. But, definitely that Toxicroak will be good for poison decks for sure. It's kind of crazy. Okay, there's the Donphan again, which I do like the Donphan. Oh, okay, here's another Arceus one. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 less energy. So I guess it'll be just 2 waters for 80, which I guess is pretty decent for a 120. It is interesting to me, it feels weird that Abomasnow is water, because it's I understand that it's sort of the ice translation, but it feels just such grassy vibes to me. It's all right, I guess. But that's a pretty usable one for sure. And it could really help out with Irida as well, with the 40 HP heals. I just finished the YouTube video, so low-key was perfect timing. We never say no to surprise streams in this house. Yeah, hey, look, we'll fit him in when we fit him in. It's kind of the vibe in many senses. Bronzor, Nosepass, Hoot Hoot. Oh, okay, Magnezone. Here's another one. If you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, this Pokemon takes minus 30 damage from attacks. That's not too bad, because it's rare that you're going to get a Pokemon one-hit KOing you, but 170 health, or potentially if it sort of takes multiple attacks, it's sort of you just increase your maximum starting health. It's 210 HP if it takes 2 hits, which is kind of good. If you do want to run that steel deck. Power Beam, 80 damage isn't too bad either if you can get it set up. But you do need to go through that Magneton stage as well. So artwork's pretty clean though. Pretty solid. And there's another Rotom as well. Jerem, Starly, Eevee, Electrike, and Gengar. We're still lacking the second Arceus EX, which it continues to evade us, which is certainly scary. Because it's like, oh. I know we're running out of packs at this point. We have hit the big 500, though. Hooray! Thanks, Spiritomb. All right, register some more cards in. Bing, bong, bing, bong, bing. Okay, we're up to 69. Nice. And then how much gold are we at now? Like, can I see my resources? Oh, okay. So we have 33 gold left, which isn't enough for a full 10, but we can still, I guess we can do singles now. So we can still do another 5 packs. Actually, we should probably claim all of our missions as well, because we'll get more resources to open even more. Whoops. I just sliced through the cards. But the slice through does get us a Crobat, so it's something. Okay, let's open up our missions and stuff, because we probably have more gold and such in there as well. So let's go to home. Let's go to... oh, well, here's a bunch of gold for leveling up quite a bit. Oh, and we'll also do wonder picks to... Essentially, in my mind, any cards that we get during this stream are fair game, even if they're sort of from other sets and such. That's kind of my thought process. So we get those. We can complete all of these. Get a whole lot of shop tickets. Thingamajiggies. Or the gold dudes. It's spinning wheel of deathing me. Please. There we go. Themed collections as well. Oh, there's a ton of stuff in here. Collect 3 Marrow cards. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. We'll take the coin. Boom. Oh, we have to go through... Like, it's going to show me every collection that we did. Okay, what's this one? The 2 forms of Cherrim, which also includes Cherubi, but, you know, leave that guy out, I guess. Water-type Pokemon, which 3 of them are Marrow. We'll take it. Barry, the rival. Is that just one Barry? Oh, it's Barry's team. Oh, that's kind of sick, actually. I kind of dig that. That's kind of sick. Pokemon with 60 HP. Such a random collection, but we'll take it. Pokemon tempted by sweet honey. Look, I'll be honest with you. It's not often, like, whoever sort of created these themings clearly had fun with it. And I definitely would enjoy it if that was sort of my job. Like Road of the Old Chateau, which really just reminds me of the Pokemon... What was the game on Wii where you sort of explored around Pal Park? Or I feel like it might have been Pal Park. It sounds right to me, but you could go to that chateau and you could sort of chase Rotom around. Use pack stamina to open 4 Triumphant Light booster packs, and as a reward, we get another Arceus. But we already had enough of those guys, so we didn't really need it. Pal Park, yeah, okay, what was the name? I thought it might have been. But it does give me some memories of that whenever I think about that chateau. Oh, wait, what are these? Are these trial decks? Or are these like full decks? Because that's... Oh, it's just like, because do we have all the cards? Like, what's the deal? What is this? Is like... Oh, wait, is it a deck box? I'm not quite sure. A rental deck. Okay, it is a rental deck. I see. I was like, oh, I know you're not giving me the cards. Like, TCG Live does that, but I don't think that these do this. Some are trial, some are full. Oh. So, if I click on this guy, that's a rental. It does have an Arceus EX in it, which, you know, we could still potentially give a shot. I assume that all of these are rentals. I assume that rental is the little icon with... Oh, hang on. This one looks like it could be legit. Oh, so I actually just have the full deck for this. Ah. Okay, now this is something I didn't really think about in that there are pre-built decks, and now that I've collected all of the cards, it is actually telling me that this is just a deck that I could run. So we'll give these a little bit of a look. I would definitely prefer to have a second Arceus EX in here instead of just another Arceus, personally, but we'll give it a look once we sort of collect all the cards, I guess. That could be an interesting way to go. If you get the main card, you get the trial. If you get every card, you get the deck. Right, that makes so much sense. When you have all the cards to make that deck, you have the ability to make the deck. I see. That's actually pretty helpful. Cards let go while the mission was in progress or not be included in the deck. Yep, that makes sense to me. That's a trial, the Barry deck. Okay, cool. Anyway, let's keep on opening. Because we still have... I'm assuming we can't... Yeah. We just needed 8 more gold. All right, we'll do some 1-on-1s. We've got a few hourglasses to burn through, I suppose. I wish there was a... I guess it doesn't matter too much. There's another unknown. Not that it's super useful to us. Wait. What am I waiting on? Have I done something? Did I do something wrong? You can use shop tickets to get hourglasses. Oh. Well, I have a lot of shop tickets. Hold. Although, do I use my shop tickets to sort of like try and dip into other sets? Like, you know, get Sabrinas and such? I'm not sure. Not sure. There's no like deals, are they? No. Oh, wait. Monthly. 6 for 18, 6 for 12. Excuse me? Why would I buy 6 for 18? I just don't understand that. Oh, you can only exchange it so many times. I see. Get your promos before you spend all your tickets. Wait, like these? Like the guys in the top right, you mean? Oh, wait. Do you mean as in like buy these guys? Do I not have these guys? Like I assumed I just had them. Oh, I don't. Oh, was I using trial decks or something? Oh, whoops. Well, I guess we need 2 of each, but good shout. I kind of just assumed that I had it because I was playing with decks that had them, but perhaps not. No. Oh. Whoopsies. Well, don't I? Maybe you do. I don't know. Well, I mean, it's letting me buy them, and I've got shop tickets, so let's be safe. This is always going to be a chaotic affair. Do I really need anything else? I'll get the potions and I'll get X speed in case, but. Actually, didn't it show me having X speed in that deck that we got? I feel like it did. Well. The red card one isn't useful in my opinion. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it, I suppose. Again, there's a lot of cards in Pocket that would be really useful in TCG Live, in the sort of, 60 card deck format, that don't seem very useful in this particular one. But maybe as things evolve over time. Oh, we're still just short. Tragic. Absolutely tragic that we are still just short of going for the 10. Well, we'll go the long way. If we had done that first, we could have sped it up a little bit, but not the universe we live in, unfortunately. Yeah, we get the Motham, Larvitar, Pikachu. Oh, we didn't even look at the Pikachu. I was like, laters. Oh, we get to look at it straight away, though. This attack does 10 damage to one of your... Okay, that's not a great card. I guess it's the, precursor to the Arceus linked Raichu, though. So there's probably some use there, to be fair with you. To be fair, we go again. I think It's probably not a bad idea to start off with the pre-built deck. It's just what's going through my head. Like, or maybe we try building one first and then it goes terribly wrong. And then, oh, okay, we get a Leafeon EX. Okay, we've got our second Leafeon. I am a big fan of the idea of Leafeon as that sort of energy accelerator. So I really do feel like we're probably going to sort of scooch in that direction. We'll see what other cards we get though. Ba-ba-da-ba. Brr. It's booster pack opening time. I bet it is. I mean, I would hope so. Okay, Cherim, Haunter, Clefairy, Pikachu, Arceus again. Don't need those guys. Oh, and Shine Dust is purely for like cosmetic stuff, right? Like it doesn't there's no functionality to do with Shine Dust because it's not a part of the game that I've explored at all at this point. I watched I think Spraggles put out a video that was sort of talking about everything you need to know from start to finish. Yeah, completely useless to be honest. Well, not completely useless. I mean, come on. Just a little bit useless unless you want sparkly cards. Exactly. There's some use to it. But yeah, I see now. Okay, we just I guess like there's sort of a point where it's like you can only get so much stuff. Like there's okay, we've used the last of our hourglasses. So now we're onto the gold. Brrr. Druby, Electrike, Clefairy, Vespuc, and Manectric. Ah, kiss me. Do we have like known odds? Like I know that in Pokemon Unite, for example, they sort of tell you the exact odds of everything. Is that the case in Pocket as well, or nah? They haven't got a Poltergeist card, so my opinion can change in the future. You know what? Fair enough. Oh, is that? Oh, that's new. Fancy. I mean, it's still like not very useful for us, but it exists. It sort of took me aback because in my head I was like, no, I've seen this guy. This isn't new. I was like, oh, it is new. There you go. Huh. They'll get a Poltergeist eventually, I'm sure. Even if you have to wait all the way till Halloween. Probably not though. I'm sure they'll do something from Poltergeist's generation. Okay, there's another Magnezone and a Magneton in the same little set. Same little pack. I should, I guess, refer to them as. How much we got? Okay, we've only got... This is our last pack. This is our final pack of Triumphant Light. And this is what we're going to have to build with. At this point, we still only have the one Arceus EX, which means that if we don't get one in this pack, which, oh, I don't like the look of that, we are going to have to build, unfortunately, with the sort of single Arceus as well. But that's not the end of the road because we also have those Pokemon Day promo packs. Well, not promo packs, but like the free ones that sort of, I guess they're sort of promo in a way because they're like good. But we still have a shot of building this deck proper in that we do have these 3 sort of gift packs that came from the sort of Pokemon Day celebrations where they're guaranteed to have a decent card in there. So we've got 3 packs here. So let's just claim the first one. The Pikachu. Okay, we're going all the way back to Genetic Apex to take a look at this. We've got the Bishop. Electabuzz, not particularly useful to us. Squirtle. Oh, hang on. We've got something back there. Oh, the Nidoqueen. That's great art, by the way. Like, you've got both the male and the female. That's awesome. This attack does 50 more damage for each of your benched Nidoking. Oh, that's actually kind of sick. It feels like a tough one to build around. But, you know, it's still a cool card. Yeah, no last pack magic, unfortunately. Unless we were just saving it for these packs. Maybe we're just saving it for these. You never know. Yeah, you can see that I didn't get the game until well after Genetic Apex's prime. That is for sure. Okay. No major luck. Well, I guess, like, what luck am I hoping for, really? Now, I think the Charizard pack is going to be pretty important because it does have the potential of getting us a Sabrina card. We would love to be able to put Sabrina into our deck. We've got Pawniard, Fearow again, Slowbro, and... Oh, hang on a minute. We've actually got the Charizard EX card, which is very sick. And like very useful if we've sort of build a deck around it. Although I don't think it's useful in the context of the Triumphant Light sets. We would sort of have to go back and build out of Genetic Apex if that's something we wanted to construct. Still a sick card though. I mean, look at that. That's really cool. I like the sort of 3D effectish of it all. You don't... I feel like that just... It comes across exclusively in Pocket in a sense. Like it's hard to get that same effect on, real world cards or certainly TCG Live. You just can't really accomplish the same thing, I don't think. Yeah, we got Stardust or whatever it's called. Sparkle Dust. Okay. The final set that we are opening, the final pack. These are our last cards, and there is something guaranteed in the back. The Venonat, Salazzle, a different Haunter that we could actually use, a Pawniard, and Marowak EX, which we actually already have, because that was my sort of guaranteed first pack. So that's not like we needed it, and but it's around, I guess. But we're probably not building with it today. Okay. Well, now we've got all the cards. We've been given everything that we have to play with, and now we have to try and construct something useful, to say the least. But we'll see. Okay. X. I mean, like we could just keep going back and forth through the missions things as well. Oh, here's an actual built deck as well. Okay, here's another possibility of a deck we could run. The Raichu and Arceus deck. Okay, so there's a bit going on in here. So we could run this 2 Pikachus. It's got one of the Raichus that, again, sort of has that minus 30 damage if Arceus is in play. It does have the Rotom in here, which Rotom's ability was reducing the retreat cost to 0. So it's sort of just a, get in, do some damage and leave. It's got a Shaman in here. Look... We could give this a go, because there's also the Snorlax, which, what does this do again? Put one random basic Pokemon from your discard pile into your hand. Oh, that actually is pretty useful when if you've only got like one Arceus, that could actually be pretty handy. Look, it's interesting. We could use it as a starting point even, and then that's just a rental. Okay. We would have Wonder Pick. Like we could really get into the weeds and try and Wonder Pick something. If we'll check if there's like Arceus in there. If there's any Arceus hanging around, then we'll go for it. I'm not seeing Arceus. No Arceus. No Arceus. No Arceus. There's the Marill. Yep. Alas. Wait, these can be restored. If there's Arceus in them, I'll think about it. But unfortunately, no. Do traded cards count if you didn't want a Sabrina? No. We'll go Sabrina-less. Alas, we didn't pull one. Okay, now let's go to the decks. So, decks. Theme deck lists is where there's stuff in here. I've never clicked on these buttons before. Can I copy paste it as a starting point? Like, what if I say build this deck? Save. So I can keep going back in and sort of rebuilding the theme deck. Okay, cool. So we can sort of, change it around a little bit. Because, look, so we've got 2 Pikachu and a Raichu, 2 Electrike and a Manectric. Manectric, during your opponent's next turn, if the defending Pokemon tries to use an attack, your opponent flips a coin. A little bit, I guess Shaman could be useful, I suppose. I like 2 Pokeballs, and I think 2 Professor's Research is sort of always the way to go. I think that having Celestic Town Elder helps. in this particular set. We've obviously got our 2 Arceus. I'm not so sure about Hoot Hoot Noctowl, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a potential... it just feels like we're diluting the pool a bit. But it's the only, like, second stage that actually has 50 damage. Which feels a little desperate, I'll be honest with you. I think we're going to take one of the Hoot Hoots out. Go edit. We'll ditch a Hoot Hoot. What other Arceus cards were there that could be interesting? So, like, as is, we sort of are looking at the electric deck, I suppose. Specifically at the ones we just picked up. Thanks for the offer. Okay, I actually, like, I don't know if this is meta, but I really like Pokemon communication as, like, because I feel like so often I'll just get something in my hand that is just so useless to me. Like, you know, I'll have this extra Electrike in my hand and it's just like, I would love to get rid of this. And so Pokemon communication, you can just slip it back into the deck and get something else, which is like, oh, that's pretty good. Dawn, move an energy from one of your benched Pokemon to your active Pokemon. That could be kind of useful as well, actually. I don't think we're going to use Snorlax. I don't see Snorlax fitting into our equation, so let's bring Dawn instead. Obviously, we can't... Wait, did we... We didn't pick up Dawn today, did we? That wasn't one of the ones that we actually got. Dang it! Oh, but it's so useful. I do obviously like the poison shenanigans as well. The truth is, I guess the fact of the matter is that it's a little bit limited when you're stuck to the one deck. Kinda. What can I search by booster pack? Specifically, Triumphant Light. Okay. There we go. This is a little bit more handy. We could the Magnemite's out there, so obviously we got the Shaman, Barry specifically for Snorlax, Heracross, or Staraptor. Shaman. We didn't get the Leafeon, and I kind of like the Leafeon. But is it specifically for grass Pokemon? You may take a grass energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your grass Pokemon. So it actually has to be a grass deck, which, to be honest with you, I kind of like the idea of building a grass deck because we have the Leafeon sort of accelerator. We have the, Sad Cherim. We've got the Heracross that could be interesting as well. Vespiquen is sort of a backup dude also. Leafeon only needs 1 grass energy as well. So it's kind of like, okay, well, let's go back. Let's start from scratch, perhaps. Actually, no, let's just super edit this one. So, let's just, absolutely butcher this deck. We're going to keep those trainers. I think they're all useful. We keep the 2 Arceuses because we have to. And then we'll build from here. So, I think we go Leafeon, wherever Leafeon may have been. So we go Leafeon 1, 2. We get our Eevee cards, which were down here 1, 2. We go for Burmy 1, 2. Well, we could go Burmy, I guess. Put 1 Mothim in there. We'll get a 2 Cherubi, a Cherim. Let's get rid of the Burmy actually. We'll get 1 Heracross in there, 1 Vespiquen. We can kind of use either of them as our sort of guy to set up in the back. And then what else do we do? We could grab a different Cherim. But now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Pokemon, which is a bit high. It's a bit of a high count, to be honest with you. Where else do we go? What else could we look at? We haven't actually used any of the Arceus cards, actually. Which feels a bit wasteful. It's sort of like, well, why would we not build a deck that has Arceus involved, So I'm kind of thinking that, As long as the Pokemon is to bench, your active Pokemon's retreat cost is 1 less. That isn't actually to do with Arceus either. Like we could build a grass and electric deck, I suppose, just so we could actually use the resilience link. Do you have the Combee to evolve to Vespiquen? Oh, that's actually a great point. I do not have a single Combee. Well, heck, that wasn't going to work anyway. Yeah, to be honest with you, I feel like we should be using the Arceus gimmick. I wish that I had a grass Pokemon that used Arceus' gimmick. Because like as is, we can go for a Abomasnow, which doesn't seem awesome. Like, if you have Arceus or Arceus EX in play, attacks used by this Pokemon cost 1 less energy. I guess that's pretty decent still. Like, I guess that could still work. We could go Water Deck. The Frostlass does 10 damage each for your opponent's bench Pokemon. We could use the Azumarill cards just because they're pretty and no other viable reason. I mean, it's essentially the Wailmer card shenanigans, right? I like the Gengar play as well. Oh, there's so many things I want to use. I want to use like a bit of everything, and it sucks when you don't want to be too spread out energy-wise. Let's think. What's Crobat do again? Once during your turn, you can just do 30 damage to your opponent's active. Oh, that is kind of... I think we go a little bit cheesy. Not intending to derail, just trying to be helpful. No. It was a very good point. I missed it entirely. I kind of... do we go crazy with it? Actually, what was in the... Also, apologies for being a little all over the place with this, but, you know, we're learning here. What was in this deck? Let's just get build, save. This one might be more Aspeed. So we obviously have the Rotom here that is just 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched, which could work out. Did someone say cheese? Yeah, we're back, baby. Get to work streams have essentially returned. We've got the 2 Zubat, 2 Golbat into 1 Crobat, the 2 Krogunk into 1 Toxicroak, the 2 Hoot into Noctowl, Arceus, Celestic Town, Elder, X-Speed, Pokeball, Oak. What other cards could we throw into the mix here? We actually have no other dark type Pokemon that could actually jam into this deck. Kind of funny. I mean, I guess the two questions on my mind are: do we need the Rotom? Do we need the Noctowl line? That is the thought process going through my head. Because like Rotom is just hey, if that's the... Oh, whoops, I got rid of it. If that's the basic Pokemon we get, then at least it can sort of run away, right? If we get an Arceus, actually. Like the sniping ability is probably decent. Noctowl is kind of a bit bland. I think we just give this a go, to be honest with you. Can we change the highlight card? Select highlight cards. I pick Pokeball. Yay! We can change our accessory. Let's use the Eevee coin, the Eevee sleeves, the Eevee playmat. Oh, the Eevee shenanigans. Oh, deck box, of course. Yeah, this will work. Okay, we've essentially just ended up with one of the pre-built decks because the truth is that there's only so much variety within the actual set if you want to stay within the cards we got today. So we are going to be using a Rotom just as sort of a quick sort of sniper damaging move. We've got the 2 Zubat, 2 Golbat into our Crobat, which again is that sort of you may just do 30 damage to one of your opponent's active, to your active Pokemon whenever you want, even if Crobat is on the bench, which could be pretty handy. We've got the 2 Krogunk into the Toxic doing Toxicroak, and then we have the Noctowl line as well to do a quick little 50 damage, just as sort of a bulk damager alongside the 2 Arceus cards and all else. And obviously we've just made our highlight card a Pokeball because I just think that's funny. But let's jump into the battles and see how we do. Because the truth is, I'm going to be atrocious. That's, hang on, how do I... Whoops. My decks. How do I set you as my guy? Maybe I just pick in the actual battle thing. Versus random match. And I want to use this deck. Alrighty, let's give it a go. Okay. Here we go, gamers. Okay, we're going second, so a good start because TCG Bucket is a little bit broken in that regard. We've got the Hoot Hoot and the Krogunk. I guess... oh, wait, they just conceded on the spot. So, first win! Woo! Man, these cards are crazy good. Oh, it's too easy. It's just too easy. I'm actually not going to send them a friend request. Well, there's that. We go again. Do people do that? Do they just like quit out if they get given the first and they just want to go second? Or do they just not like the cut of my jib? Okay, we're up against a fellow slowpoke, so surely they're not going to hang out and they're not going to just concede on us. But we get another... Okay, we actually get the Arceus as our only sort of basic Pokemon, so I guess that's what we're starting with. Hit the start battle button. I do like that in TCG Pocket, it's impossible to get mulligans. Oh, okay. So, Snova, that Abomasnow is obviously around, so they're presumably running another Arceus deck because they're going to have the Abomasnow with the ability. What is this, a TCGP stream? It's crazy, I know. First time ever. For the first time in forever. Okay. What else have we got? So we've got 2 Pokeballs, so we can sort of get some basics going off rip. We've got the Professor's Research, so not a bad start, to be honest. Manaphy is that card that like we don't love to see because they can just really get themselves set up quite a bit. We have the Crobat and the Golbat, so if we can Pokeball a Zubat, we know that we're just going to have a Crobat in a few turns' time. We get the Krogunk, which is also not too bad. Go for the next Pokeball to again just try and get that Zubat. Get an Arceus, which, you know, not the most useful card to us at the moment, seeing as we already have the Arceus EX in play. And we get the Krogunk and the Golbat. So unfortunately, we don't get any Zubat action, but the question sort of becomes, do we attach any energy to our Arceus or our Krogunk? And I think the answer is we just put it onto Arceus because, like, worst case, we're going to need to retreat anyway. We'll end it there. It's like I summoned it. You only mentioned it in about 4 of the last streams. Okay. Now this is the time. They can't, like, the fact that their attack is also oh, that's a little bit unfortunate. We got red carded when we really didn't want to. Golbat, Krogunk, Arceus, we just have the same pretty useless hand, to be honest, so that hasn't really affected us. But they at least can't attack on their first turn either, but we aren't making a lot of progress here. Like, we can attach a second energy to Arceus, and then I guess we'll just look to either we can do our attack from Arceus next turn, or we can retreat if things are looking dire, but they're really going to be hoping to get their Abomasnow out this turn. Because, I mean, otherwise they can still do 30 damage with a Corkscrew Punch, but... it feels like they're a little bit stuck at the moment. Waiting. Waiting. It feels so much like more. Okay, they actually do get the Abomasnow. They don't have an Arceus in play, so it is just a straight 80 damaging shenanigan. But I actually want to get as many benched Pokemon as possible. Oh, they didn't attack. Oh, because they evolved to Abomasnow, so now they needed 3. But if they didn't evolve to Abomasnow, then I would be able to get the KO on them. That's actually pretty scary. But we get the Toxicroak evolve. I'm thinking that we probably put Krogunk down just to sort of boost our attack that little bit more, because this attack does 20 more damage for each of your benched Pokemon. It's currently at 90. If we put both of our next 2 down, then we unfortunately sort of block ourselves from using a Zubat, but we guarantee the Abomasnow KO and all the energy they've attached to it. So I think it's probably pretty worthwhile in this instance, because now they're going to have to deal with this Arceus somehow. And to be honest with you, I don't know how. It seems like a pretty tough call to sort of make your way out of this one, because it feels like, you can put something on the bench and try and build it up. You'll be able to give it, energy on this turn, energy on the next turn. But then you've got to get a KO on my Arceus. So it's going to be a tough one for them. Okay, I mean, they do have a pretty sick looking Lapras card. So if that does help them, then that could be pretty solid. And Oceanic Gift, I did forget about that fact. So, choose 2 of your bench Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, take a water energy and attach it. So, there's our Zubat finally, but, at this point, I don't think we need it too much anymore. We'll go for the KO on Manaphy, and at this point, I still don't think that they can get a KO on us on this next turn, because, if we look at Lapras's attack, once our point goes through, Lapras, if this Pokemon has at least 3 extra water energy attached, this attack does a total of 90 damage, so that can't KO us. Psyduck can't KO us. Golduck can only do 70 damage, so we've just locked this one in the bag, unless they can sort of, Sabrina our Arceus out. But even then, we're in a pretty solid position, so they just go for the 70, which means GG's, checkmate. I won't stretch this battle out any longer. We'll just click Ultimate Force and take the Dubsky. So undefeated, which, hey, we'll take. That's a pretty decent start when you're just sort of in this random unranked open ladder, which, thumbs up for me. Let's go Arceus. We even used it for attacks that time. Okay. Okay. We get some XP as well. We'll send them the thanks, because they could have conceded and just run away, but they didn't. They stuck it out until we defeated them. So I'm sort of happy to see that, to be honest with you. Alrighty. Coming for your booty is who we are playing. Okay. We got second twice in a row. This time we get second again. We're getting pretty lucky on the coin flips, to be honest with you. So I guess we'll put the Zubat. I kind of think that we put Hoothoot out front and we just stick Zubat on our bench, sort of because and only because it is going to take us that sort of 2 evolves to get all the way up to Crobat. Best viewers on stream, boo.com. Remove the space. Thanks, Change Inquiry, but I can't remove it from here. Twitch is so useless, man. From my own little stream manager section, I can't actually remove that chat message, which is pretty annoying. But well. It's not harming anyone. Okay, we're up against a Charizard deck. And to be fair, the playmat does look really sick. I really do like how it sort of takes up the board. But it does mean that we're going to try and get ramped up as quick as possible. Okay, we do get our Arceus, but let's use our Pokeballs just to sort of see what else we can, fish out. To be honest with you, we're not really looking for a particular Pokemon with these Pokeballs. All we're doing is thinning out the deck. We're just removing the cards that we don't want because we want to get our sort of evolved cards for the Zubat. So I don't think there's really any benefit of putting these on the field. I guess we can put Krogunk down to eventually evolve, but then we're sort of blocking ourselves off. I don't think we bother yet. I think we just go straight we'll go for the Peck just to put some damage on the board, and then we'll sort of hope that we can draw a little bit better on the next one, but we'll see. Personally, I'm waiting until some tournaments are played until I build some new decks, and that's fair enough. But I'm here for the stream content. We had to build one ASAP to get the stream going. So happy to, I wasn't just happy to play around, You can always build new decks. You can try new things. You can open up your daily packs along the way. Because how else do you know that you're supposed to be excited for getting a certain pull? It's obviously there's part of it that that Arceus EX is a cool card to draw. But it's extra cool when it's I need this for competitive play. Okay, we actually do get the Evolve to Noctowl, which is pretty handy because it does mean that we're going to be able to KO the Charmander. And for no real reason, we get the opponent to reveal their hand. So we'll take it, I suppose. We don't have any Sabrinas or such in this deck, so we'll just take the KO. Take a look at the 4 cards they've got. They do have the Infernape and the X speed. So we are going to get Infernape this turn. But, oh, they do have 1 energy attached to it. So, all right, here comes Infernape. Okay, I guess they drew Charmeleon. Because I didn't see it in the hand, but maybe I didn't look close enough, to be honest. Okay, here's the Infernape, and what does it do? For 2 energy, 140 damage, and discard all energy. That is actually really scary. Because, like, Noctowl is obviously going to get KO'd, and we're a little bit stuck. Like, oh dear. Like, at least we can sort of hope that they aren't going to be able to set up their Infernape for another attack straight away, so that we might have a turn of wiggle room. Okay, we can use Celestic Town Elder to get a Hoot Hoot. Okay, I think we put Hoot Hoot back on. We grab... What do we do here? Because none of these Pokemon are going to survive Infernape's hit. So, to be honest with you, I feel like our best chance is to just put some energy on the field, do an attack. Because, like, here's the thing. We could just retreat into Hoot Hoot and do no damage, but we're just sort of running that same gamble of just sort of like hoping that they can't attach 2 fire energies this turn. And like, this is a tough spot to be in, really. Oh, okay, there's 1 energy. Please tell me you cannot get another. Please. Pretty please. Pretty please with a cherry on top. Okay, they couldn't get a second energy, which we love to see. We unfortunately still don't have any Golbat action going on, which is a little bit tragic. We'll pet our Croagunk out because it can become toxic on the next turn, but we're really at the point that we're going to have to get really lucky to have a chance in this game, to be honest with you. Like, we can sort of sacrifice our... We could bring Arceus in and just attach energy. No, we don't survive long enough. Okay. Let's attach an energy to Hoot Hoot. We are just going to retreat with Zubat. Throw Hoot Hoot in. Throw the Peck. Like, you know, maybe next turn we get a Noctowl, a Golbat, and then they take a turn to get another energy, and then we can maybe get up to Crobat. But look, it's a tough one. I don't see how we could win this. Speaking of tournaments, there is one thing that I usually play in about 2 hours. The problem is that there's a thing called Go Tour that I play. Yeah, just skip it like I'm doing. Yeah, so there's... Down goes Hoot Hoot. And we just have to... Like, either we draw a Golbat or we just kind of lose on the spot, really. Okay. I mean... Oh, I meant to swap Toxicroak in, not... I meant to swap Toxicroak in so we could Toxic it, but yeah. Look, we lose either way. This is a GG's, but it is what it is. Ah, well. You can't win them all, I guess. The 100% win rate is broken. Nothing we can do about it. Alas. But yeah, I am actually headed to Sydney today, but it is not for... Oh, excuse me. It's not for Go Tour, so I'll be playing... Why does my stream sometimes lag a little bit? Not sure what the deal is. And like, we're just in the waiting room to lose at this point. We get the Crobat, but, you know, there's no Golbat in that thing. So let's just... I kind of just want to see what Toxic looks like. So let's just do it. Just to see. Oh, it's got Toxic with it's got the poison with a plus on it. That's kind of groovy. I dig it. Oh, and they've got a really nice looking Charizard EX just to finish this off as well. And took ages for all of that energy to be attached, but yeah, finally we take the L here. So game 4, I suppose, or 3, but I'm definitely counting it as 4. We're taking that free win. In no universe are we not taking that free win. I'm sorry to tell you that one was earned, plain and simple. You did not acquire any rewards. What the heck? Oh, we didn't even send the thanks. Whoops. My bad. I was just salty. My bad. Come on. No Moltres in that opponent's deck. Well, you know, they didn't draw it. We never drew a Golbat. Doesn't mean there wasn't a Golbat in our deck. Okay, we get the second draw again. It's ridiculous the amount of second goes we get. Okay, we do have the Arceus, the Zubat ready to go. I think what we're going to do is just put Zubat straight in and start battle. Go from there. They were just so threatened by a highlighted card in that first game. Hey, it's scary stuff. I know. I'm a threatening person. I really have a threatening aura. Don't I just give off like, you know, real tough guy? Like, grrr. Yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. All right. So, Zubat is a Tangela. Okay, this is going to be a bit of an awkward one. They've also got the Uxie, which take a psychic energy from your energy zone and attach to Mesprit or Azelf. Okay, that's a kind of interesting card. I'm interested to see what this deck is. They've got a Swirlix out as well. And there's the Celebi. Okay, so the energy generation is going to be pretty crazy. Flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. Oh, I see. They have so much going on for a first turn. It's kind of crazy. We do get the Golbat, though, which is really nice. We'll use our Professor's Research. We probably should have used Pokeball first up, but, you know, it doesn't matter too much. I guess this way we've just picked up 3 basic Pokemon. Fishing for that Arceus EX, but no such luck on this one. I think that what we're going to do is put another Zubat on the bench. I'm thinking about just sacking this one, but because Bite plus Golbat's attack won't be enough to KO. We kind of need to get all the way up to Crobat. So let's also throw in... Oh, we could bring this dude in. 20 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon. Go for the Krogunk. We'll just put 20 on the board, I suppose. Okay. We'll just get a Zubat in the back so that we can eventually evolve that one up to Crobat. And then this one that's in the front is just going to be a little bit sacrificial. I mean, we're going to have pretty decent opportunity to swap it out, to be fair. Like the fact is they're only going to be able to attach their first energy on this turn. We know the 4 Pokemon they've got in play. They do have the giant cape though, which is a little annoying. I mean, it really just, you know, cancels out our attack, I suppose. We get the Toxicroak, so this is a big evolve turn. We could actually evolve our Golbat that's in the lead now. I'm not as scared. Plus it has an energy attached. How much energy is the Crobat one? Oh, it only costs 1 energy for Crobat's attack. And Crobat's is only 50. And it does 30 damage to the active. So if we bring it down to 40, the 30 wouldn't be enough. So actually the maths doesn't work out so hot. Okay, let's just get toxic with it, guys. Let's attach our Golbat to this one. Well, it doesn't really matter. We'll just put Golbat in play, evolve up Toxicroak, retreat the Zubat to bring in the Toxicroak, because I just want to get funky, to be honest with you. I just want to put some shenanigans in play, and I want to use Toxic. I think that it is an awesome strategy. And so we're just going to get it rolling, instantly do 20 damage, and, you know, if this Tangela wants to hang around, then it's going to have to deal with that Toxic damage again. So I'm pretty happy with that. But... welcome in, Debbie. Hi, good morning. By the way, Debbie's got a video on the move updates. If you want to check that out on the youtube.com/Deberald. At least I think that's how it's spelled. I can't quite remember. Okay, we get hit with a big 30 damage from Tangler, but that just means that they get poisoned down even more, which is kind of crazy. That's so good for us. Because now we can get the Crobat installed, we can put this guy in, and because of the toxic damage weakening it down, we can... Oh, hang on. We need to play Arceus so that we can use our Arceus ability, put 30 damage onto the Tangler, get the quick KO, and then we can just do damage onto whatever they swap in. This is kind of sick. I kind of like this. Regardless of what Pokemon comes in, we're not going to be able to get a KO. Although I'm kind of tempted to just go for the Toxic strat again. This is actually a crazy strategy. You leave your Croagunk in the front, you keep just poisoning the opponent, you're chipping down with 30 damage from Crobat, and essentially you're kind of doing like 50 damage every one of your turns, plus 20 damage on their turns. To sort of weaken down their damage. So that's kind of ridiculous. And they just have to sit there. That is so crazy. And we just do it again. Put another 30 damage on. I guess at this point, Toxic is a little bit useless to us. So we could... Oh, what we can do, we can swap out of Toxicroak, bring Crobat in. Crobat, and we'll just put an extra energy on this guy. Crobat can do 50 damage to the Celebi, but then when it changes turns and it does the Toxic checkup, it'll get KO'd. And because that was a Celebi EX, bada bing, bada boom, game one. Okay, this is the sort of strategy that I like to see. Some classic, just annoying shenanigans. It's toxic strats for a reason. We're becoming a toxic gamer. Yeah, clip that, he likes TCGP. I didn't realize you could be toxic in this game. I didn't realize that you could just BM. To be fair, I do think I stand by the fact that I do like live more, but I do like being able to BM. It just feels annoying, to be fair. Alrighty. What's that put us at? Is that 3-1? I think that's 3-1. Okay, we've got a pretty good win rate as is. We actually have to go first this time, so, you know, we're breaking that streak a little bit. We do have the Arceus straight away. Okay, here's actually not too bad of a hand. It's not like the ultimate hand, but we at least get a Rotom that has the ability that if Arceus is in play, it gets a free retreat cost. So we can at least sort of just, you know, whenever we get a Pokemon we actually want to use, we can instantly put it up onto the field. So we want to maximize our chance of getting basic Pokemon on this first turn. So the sequencing of that is to use Professor's Research first, because we have the chance of getting... Okay, there's a Zubat straight away. And then we can use our Pokeballs to sort of guarantee another 2 basic energies, or basic Pokemon, sorry, from the back line. And so I think we're going to play the Croagunk. And then we just used our other Pokeball to thin the deck a little bit so that our next card is more likely to be the Golbat or something that we do actually want to use. What's the ability here? This attack does 20 damage. Can we use that straight away? Oh, no, that's an attack. Right. I see. Okay. We'll end our turn. I would never BM. No. Only one loss. I've lost counter matches. Yeah, same deal. I wait to get Porygon to BM. What does Porygon do? What does Porygon do? Is it crazy? Okay, they've got Pinsir in the lead, which is a 2 energy cost for them to attack. So I'm not dramatically scared. It's not like... It's one of those ones that if you have to play first and can't attach an energy on your first turn... You kind of like to see them have to go the long way around, but it's a little scary because it does have flip 2 coins. This attack does 50 damage for each heads. So there is the possibility of 100 damage off rip, but there's of course the possibility of 0 damage off rip. So, you know, live by the dice roll, die by the dice roll, I suppose. We can at least Professor's Research here to try and get those cards that we want. There's an X speed and there's a Crobat. Okay, so we have our Golbat ready to go into Crobat. We don't have our Toxicroak yet. What's our strategy here? Because we just I have to be very cognizant of the fact that we could be KO'd on the next turn. We could just go into Arceus where they have to get 3 heads across, you know, the next 2 turns, but that seems risky. I think that we kind of just... Oh, there's no confident play here, really. Hmm. Okay, I've got what we're doing. Okay, I'm going to attach an energy to Arceus, free retreat into Arceus, and have it sit there. The reason that I've done this is because next turn we're going to be able to get a Crobat. We also have an X speed, so with the one energy we've attached to Arceus, we will be able to use the 2 retreat cost, retreat out into whatever Pokemon we want. That Pokemon could be Crobat, which only costs 1 energy to use its attack, so we can sort of do that off rip. Ideally, we just draw Toxicroak. That would actually be the ultimate, but, we'll see what we can get. And then they're going to flip their coins here. They have a chance of getting 0, which would put us in a crazy good spot. Okay, that's 0. So easy. This game's so easy. 0 damage. That's so good. We can evolve up to the Crobat. I think that we just attach another energy to Arceus here, and we're just going to build up its attack. Now that we are guaranteed to get to our next turn, we'll do our 30 damage from the bench because Arceus is in the field, and that's sort of the ability link. And then we just sit here, end our turn, and they can do 100 damage if they want to. We don't mind too much, to be honest with you. Porygon Z changes their energy to a random energy instead for 1 turn. Okay, that is actually funny as. That's so funny. Okay, they've got the potion to heal up 20, but to be honest with you, that's going to be pretty inconsequential because our Arceus attack will KO their Pinsir regardless. Now, give me another 0. I would love to see another 0 damage. That's a 0? Oh, this game's ridiculously easy. Guys, how do people lose battles in this game? It's just too simple. We put this guy on here, and to be honest, we don't even need to use Crobat's ability because we get the guaranteed KO anyway, and we'll get our first point on the board. So, pretty good start, I would suggest. How do we lose? That's a legitimate question. How do we lose this? Because not only do we have sort of 130 damage off rip from Arceus, but we also boost that to essentially 160 damage by having Crobat in existence. Okay, the fact that we're waiting for the opponent and it's about to time out makes me think that did they rage quit? Or have they left? Because that also feels like a weird one to... take an energy from your energy zone and attach it to one of your benched Pokemon. Yeah, I don't know. We're just sitting here waiting now. I feel like they might have left. Oh, no, they've attached energy. But, their attack on Ivysaur is so expensive, and I can't imagine Venusaur is any cheaper, that they're just stuck here. Next turn, we'll be able to use Ultimate Force again, get the KO on Ivysaur, and then, their Lilligant is kind of going to be stuck and is going to get KO'd as well. So, honestly, they're going to have some pretty solid tech sitting in their hand to be able to get out of this one, because from where I'm standing, it looks like we've got this. But we'll wait. They're really just looking to time us out here, aren't they? They're just trying to be annoying at this stage. Very unfortunate. We get it. You don't need to waste our time. Just if you want to just waste our time and wait till every timer finishes, you can just click the concede button. I will allow you to click the concede button. Okay. They actually do hang on for an extra turn. But, we're still not in a bad spot at all. We do our 30 damage with Crobat. We'll do our 130 damage from Arceus. Oh, actually, we can attach an energy, which we should. So let's just do that. A bad Pokemon to attach it to, but it doesn't really matter if we're being real. Put 130 damage on the board. Venusaur will be able to get its second energy on this turn. But yeah, at this point, they're just stalling. So, fast forward to the win. I don't know when. So, my intention is to put this up on the PvP Josh channel. Although the truth is that, I don't know when I'm going to be editing it. Because like as soon as this stream ends, I'm outie. I'm leaving. So I'm not going to... Well, actually, I might bring my laptop with me. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, the Pokemon Go move update stuff is the sort of more important bit by the power of editing. Yeah, like the time it takes me to edit a video like this is essentially the length of the stream. So however long the stream is, that's how long it takes me to edit it down. So the longer the stream goes on, the longer I'm going to be sitting in the editing chair. For the most part. I mean, it sort of depends, I guess. Like for TCG streams, usually you can cut out anything that's between the games. So any of that stream time isn't super important. But oh my gosh, just let it go, man. Why do you want to be so annoying? Is it because I was being... No, and of course, they attach the energy at the last possible... Okay. GG's trainer, we get the win. Come on. No, what? Come on. But we won. And I was being kind to them. I've been kind to every game. I've not wasted their time. I've always gone straight for the move, not attached energy and supporters and shenanigans, but we got there eventually after waiting for what felt like hours. Yikes. Thanks. They don't deserve that thanks. They know they don't deserve that thanks. It's just like they're wasting their own time as well. I don't get it. It's truly like, it's like their goal is just to waste my time, but the cost of that is wasting their own time. So I don't see the trade. All right, we're back to going second. That can only fare well for us. We do have the Krogunk to start off with, which pretty decent start, although the Magikarp start, that's actually crazy. Leap out, switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. It's a sick card art. Like, obviously, it's a classic. Like, it's got that nostalgia value, I suppose, but it's pretty funny. I really like it. Oh, they do have the Druddigon just waiting to get swapped in a little bit later. So anyway, let's try and get some stuff happening. So, Professor's Research. We've got the Rotom and the Zubat. Okay, we love to see the Zubat getting into play. We're going to use... we can only use one support return. We'll try and pick up an Arceus if we can with both of our Pokeballs, just so we can sort of enable getting that Crobat sort of in play later on. But no such luck this time around, which is totally fine. We'll just throw 20 damage on and sort of call it a day on this one. And then hopefully we pick up the, Golbat on the next one. Lol, my binder of Magikarps. Yeah, it's a Debbie Pebble Classic hanging out on the active spot. Oh, okay, they've just reduced their retreat cost by 1, and they heal up their Magikarp, which feels a little bit like they've just got a potion card in their hand, so they may as well. I guess they're just like, Crobat is able to do that 30 damage. That's sort of sneaky, but it's probably the safest play. Now, Druddigon is really annoying because Druddigon has that ability. If this Pokemon is in the active spot and is damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, do 20 damage to the attacking Pokemon. Okay, they've got the Gyarados in and they have the Misty. Flip a coin until you get tails. Take a water energy for each heads in a row. We got pretty lucky in the last one, but hopefully... 2. Okay. 2 energy isn't awesome for us because it does mean they're already up to 3. And once they get up to 4, they can do 140 damage and discard a random energy from among the energy attached to all Pokemon, both yours and the opponent's. So anyone's energy is up for grabs, which is so scary. We can put Toxic on here, but Druddigon is probably going to retreat. Let's Professor's Research, see what we can pick up. Another Zubat. Okay, and a Golbat. Great. We love seeing the Golbat in play. I'm thinking that we could put Toxic, because here's the thing. Toxic won't do any damage to Druddigon, so we would actually keep our HP intact, but Gyarados will be able to do 140 if they can swap Druddigon out, which is kind of devastating. So I think what we're going to do let's just put an energy on Golbat. Oof. Man. In case of KO, let's put the Rotom in case maybe we get the Arceus. But we'll throw the Toxic, not get damaged because we're not doing damage to Druddigon. We're just putting Toxic on it, and that will slowly whittle it down. But the opponent is going to try and get Gyarados into the active spot as soon as they possibly can. So hopefully they don't have any tech cards that lets them do that. I would love to see them sort of... Okay, they've attached their energy to Gyarados. Now what? Can they do anything this turn, or they just have to wait? Because, I mean, eventually... Oh, wait, Leaf, what does that do? Retreat cost 2 less! Oh. Well, rip Toxicroak, and also goodbye the Toxic that was on Druddigon. And so now we're in some trouble. Because even if, like, chances are, they KO a Toxicroak. Chances are they're going to discard their own energy, and that is what happened as it turns out. But they can just keep attaching that next turn. And so now I'm like, well, how do we get out of this one? I don't know. I feel like we've just lost it on the spot. At least we get the Arceus in play, but we don't have anything that really benefits at this point. I'll play the Croak, but yeah, I think this one's a GG's. I don't see how we could possibly get out of this one, to be honest with you. So we're just going to have to take the L, I think. I hate Drud with Rocky Helmet. Yeah, it's more annoying, but Druddigon on its own is annoying enough, to say the least. To say the least. And they're just going for another Misty. Just to rub it in. 1, 2. Another twofer. Oof. Yeah, I'm just gonna end my next turn, to be honest with you, because it's like, well, we can't do anything here. Actually, where is the concede button? Because I'll just concede. Concede. Yeah, that one was gonna be tough to work out. I really don't have any inbuilt tech to get myself out of like big scary Pokemon that are already ready to go. I guess I'm kind of just set up to try and take them down as early as possible before they even have the chance. So look, we'll try to pick up for the next one. We're still doing pretty well win rate wise. I think we're still taking some dubskis on the whole. Alrighty. Okay, we're going first. Not what we prefer, but we will take it, I suppose. We've got the Zubat Croagunk combo, so let's put our Croagunk in the lead, our Zubat in the back, and call it a day. Hope that we get our Toxicroak and Crobat in action. Go from there. Okay, we're up against a ground deck, which is a little unfortunate because we are weak to those suckers. But I guess plus side is that they do have a Geodude in the lead, which has a 2 energy attack cost, so they can't get to it straight away. We've also drawn the Toxicroak, so we'll be able to get that going next turn. Look, we'll see how this goes, because like the weakness is plus 20, so their attack is 30. They'll be able to essentially do 50 damage on their first attack, which is really yikesy. Wait, they can't attack. We'll put our Arceus in, ready to go for the Crobat. Obviously, we're still a ways away from that. We can at least throw in Toxicroak and put a Toxic onto Geodude. We know that we're going to get hit by 50 on this next turn, probably. We just have to hope that there's not a Graveler that they can evolve into that is going to do 80 damage to us on the next turn. This is where the lack of card knowledge really comes in to bite. But hopefully it all works out okay, because the longer this Geodude stays in, whether it's a Geodude or a Graveler, hopefully we should be able to add up some damage to it. I'm thinking we kind of just power up our Arceus in the back. As much as it isn't like a great card or anything, it's just sort of Elite is not a poison type that's going to take super effective damage. Now that is pretty unfortunate for us that they are able to get a big 70 damage through from Primeape. We don't love to see that sort of thing. We do get the Golbat evolve, which at least gets us on the road to that. What do we do here? Just kind of random energy from this Pokemon. But we have to get up to 4 energy to be able to use that. I just don't know. Like, I don't want to sacrifice the Toxicroak for no reason, because that seems kind of silly, but I'm also just not sure how to get out of this one exactly. We can X speed it out. So we can use our X speed. Hoot survives a turn at least. Okay. Look, we'll just retreat into Hoot, do 20 damage. We're in with something that is at least going to survive one attack, but yeah, I don't... we need a Crobat on the next turn. If we get a Crobat on the next draw, whether it's through actual Crobat or Professor's Research or Pokeball, or we can't get it through Pokeball, so I guess the first two, we can maybe make something happen, because we could put 30 damage from our ability onto Primeape, and then we can do 30 damage to get the KO. But if we don't get that, I'm not sure what the play... Okay, we get the Crobat. Great. That is so good. Okay, so we can do our Cunning Link to do 30 damage straight off rip. Put that 30 damage on. Then what we can do is we could swap in Crobat to do it. That's actually kind of our only play. Because I was thinking we could go into Toxic, but that doesn't do enough. So we are actually going to, need to just put an energy on Crobat, put it into the firing line, retreat from a Hoot. Crobat comes in, does 50 damage, and we just have to recognize that we are going to get hit next turn, which we don't love to see, but a Crobat does have the free retreat cost, so it's not too bad. We don't really have to burn that energy necessary, and we're going to have that 50 damage still sort of sitting around. But here comes that UK Stonejourner straight from EUIC. Checks the tournament and seeing Articuno Toolbox playing well. Yeah, I saw the same thing with Pachirisu. Okay, they literally do nothing because they can't get up to their attack. That is really handy for us. So we'll Professor's Research, see what we can draw. There's a Pokeball. There's an Arceus EX, which is a lot better. Let's go for the Pokeball just to thin the deck a little bit, because we may as well. Now, at this point, what do we do? What are we trying to accomplish here? Because they will be able to KO us on the next turn, because they attach an energy to Stonejourner. We'll just use their energy ability while we're here. They attach an energy to Stonejourner. It does 90 damage, which plus 20 because of the ground weakness would KO Crobat. It'll also KO Toxicroak. It'll KO anything except Arceus, but Arceus would just be sitting there to take a hit for no real reason. So what do we actually do here? Okay. I've thought of something. So we free retreat into Toxicroak. We are going to sacrifice our Toxicroak. We'll just attach our energy to the Arceus, I guess, because we keep talking about it, and so we may as well use it. I'll throw Toxic onto Stonejourner. When it goes to their turn, they're going to go down to 70 HP. If they keep Stonejourner in, which they will need to if they want to get the KO from Stonejourner, they'll then go down to 50 HP. I can swap Crobat back in, get the 50 HP KO on Stonejourner, and they now have no energy... they have a potion. Oh, never mind. That really ruins our plans. Oh, no. Oh, dear. That is... well, now what? that was kind of my entire plan. Hang on. Wait, this still works, right? Because then I pass it back to them, and then they get KO'd. Like, it comes to me. They go down to 70. I bring them down to 20. I pass it back to them, and they still get KO'd. And we can build a new Krogunk in the back line. So this isn't as bad as... Oh, wait. We also have Cunning Link. There's no reason to do it either way, really. I'll just click it in case there's some interaction that I'm not thinking of, but I don't think that was necessary. I think that we just guarantee the KO there. With that in mind, maybe we could have done something else. I really just forgot about the ability to do 30 damage from Crobat, to be honest with you. But hey, not too bad. We're at 2 points. They're at 1 point. I don't think they can get a KO on us this turn. They swap into the old Amber. So we're presumably going to see an evolution coming in here, unless this is just them sort of pseudo-resigning. Okay, no, they get the Aerodactyl, which takes 2 energy to do 80 damage. Your opponent can't play any Pokemon from their hand to evolve their active Pokemon. Doesn't matter to us. Yeah, okay, they're just sitting here. So we can lock in the 30 damage from Cunning Link. They will be able to do 80 damage plus 20 on the next turn, which isn't enough to KO the Crobat, which means... Oh, we can attach an energy, which, again, we don't really need to, but I'll just put it over here. which means we can bring this down to 60. We will survive an attack from Aerodactyl, which means that we can do another 30 damage and then the next 50 damage to secure the KO on Aerodactyl this turn, which will secure us the win in the game and actually get us to 4 points out of a needed 3. So, hey, it all works out and they go for it. So, again, we won't... Well, we do have to mess around a little bit. We have to do the 30 damage to then actually use our Darkness Fang. But... and they conceded correctly so, because GG's. That was, another solid sort of comeback story, I guess. Starter choice, Chikorita, Tepig, or Totodile. I feel like me and many other Go players are really going to be down the Totodile route, surely. But, hey, we'll take another Dubsky. Okay. I think... Do we have one more game in us? We might have one more game in us. All right, we've got one more game in us for the stream. We'll see how it goes. We should have probably tried the other deck, actually. Now that I think about it, we should have tried the other deck. I kind of do like this one, to be honest with you. I guess I'm going to see the strategy on this one. Well, we do get to go second. Alrighty, last game of the video, we get the double Krogunk, which isn't the greatest of starts. We do have a Professor's Research ready to go, and we're going second, so we get to use it our first turn. So we've got a chance of getting a Zubat, and it looks like we're actually potentially headed in for the mirror match here. So this could be interesting. They get a Professor's Oak straight away. We'll see if they do end up bringing out any Krogunk action on the back. Oh, they've got the Darkrai. Okay, this is a pretty scary one. Whenever you attach a dark energy from your energy zone to this Pokemon, do 20 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. That is so deadly. And they've got the Rocky Helmet just to be extra annoying. This is pretty dangerous. We can obviously bring our Hoot into play. Oh man, this is a toughie. Well, Professor's Research. Professor's Research gets us the Toxicroak and a Noctowl, so I guess we will play Hoot, and we'll also play another Krogunk. Let's just assume that this one is actually going to get KO'd. Oh, here's a thought. We could actually just give an energy to Hoot to set it up for 50 damage. Let's do that. Let's sort of sack the Krogunk. If we had a Zubat, I would be a little bit more confident to put 20 damage onto Zubat, because then we might be able to get the 30 Crobat damage involved. They're evolving into Golbat though anyway, so maybe we should have done the 20 damage now that I think about it. But, this is not good, because Golbat's got that 40 damage wing attack. It only costs 1 energy, but they haven't attached 1 energy. So, because they attached just Darkrai instead. So I guess they're just going to be sitting here. But then they're going to be able to do the 30 damage. Chikorita as a starter is very cool. Potential Mega Evolution or Regional Form. True, which also will give us some extra opportunity to get some Bayleaf XL candy in Pokemon Go. Let's go! At least your Whalmer can then roll out now. That is true, although it's not too hot. Rollout did also get nerfed this season. Okay, we can do the double evolve, so we can go Noctowl into Hoot. We can go Professor's Research as well. Please give us a Zubat, or a Pokeball. Okay, Zubat works. Let's put Zubat in play, so we can slowly evolve that one up as well. The question now becomes, which one do we evolve? I think we just evolve this guy. We put our energy on, and then we, throw our Toxic to just be a little bit toxic annoying. And then we'll just see what they decide to do on their end, because they are still 2 energy away from getting up to Darkrai's attack, but they have a lot of time to be able to do that. Mega Meganium hype. Also, before I forget, remember to subscribe for all these YouTube channels. Thanks, Holocozzy. Okay, they do get the Crobat Evolve, which is a little bit scary because it means they can dish out that 30 damage and they can attach an energy, do 50 damage, and KO our Toxicroak. Unfortunately, evolving also gets rid of the Toxic, which is kind of annoying. Sort of puts us in a little bit of a bind, but we'll try and get ourselves out of it. We'll bring Noctowl up to the front. We'll evolve our Zubat into our Golbat, put an energy onto Noctowl, and just do our 50 damage, I suppose. We are going to get hit by the Rocky Helmet, unfortunately, but not much we can do about that. Actually, oh, this is a disaster, and they've got a bunch of Dawns, which move 1 energy from your bench to the active. That's actually really bad because now we're at 80 HP. They can do 30 damage from their ability, 50 damage from their attack, get the KO on Noctowl, and then we're back to square one. So, ugh. I mean, that was unnecessary, actually. They kind of, I guess they didn't waste it, but like they could have just put their energy. They didn't need to attach an energy to Darkrai to get the KO, is I guess the point. This is not good, though. Not good at all. Let's, I guess, throw Krogunk up there. If we get a Toxicroak, that'll be okay. Okay, we get the Rotom. Yeah, this is a GG's. Okay, we can discard a random card from our thingy. Oh, well, yeah. It's GG's. Nothing we can do. David Pebble in the from a game I prefer gets a regional that can Mega. Yeah, I guess we'll find out, I suppose. In the trailer, Chikorita has a fairy move that it's never been able to learn before, so it might be a fairy type. Oh! I see. What is funny, there are folks that are like, where's Cyndaquil? Almost as if they forgot Cyndaquil was in Arceus. I mean, who would just like Cyndaquil, to be honest with you? It kind of just is what it is. All right. Oh, we leveled up, which means we get more things. Okay, let's just click this for the outro bit, I guess. Okay, let's outro this thing. Okay, we're back. Okay, so we were able to put a deck together with all of the cards that we opened up. Definitely had a lot of fun. I actually really enjoy that sort of toxic strategy. If it wasn't clear enough that I did enjoy it, I love the ability to sort of strategize, work around where you need to put damage, what you need to sort of bring out where. Obviously, the deck could really be improved quite a lot if we were using cards from other series. So, for example, if we had some Sabrinas in the mix, we would definitely be performing a little bit better because we would really be able to sort of, I guess, work with our moving damage around a little bit more, but I still had a really good time, and this definitely won't be the last TCG Pocket from me, but again, I have to give a massive thank you to the Pokemon Company International for hooking us up with all of that gold so we could open up all of these packs. Definitely gonna have a bit more practice with these decks over the coming days and weeks, but yeah, thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, especially that subscribe one, and of course, you can go and follow on Twitch if you want to catch these sorts of things live, but thanks everyone in the in the chat as well. But with that said, see you in the next one, and let me know what you would like to see next. But till then, catch you then. Bye. YouTube outro. We did it, folks. We did it. And of course, we are going to raid into Dash Ducks. I can't spell. Okay, thanks everyone for coming out again. Appreciate it. I know this was, one, out of nowhere. Two, odd timing in that it is Pokemon Go move update day. But, three, a bit of a more random time as well in the early Australian morning. But if you haven't already, go over to the YouTube channel because we do have that sort of, we've got a video on there to talk about the... talking about the move updates, how it's going to change the meta, where the moves are probably going to land in terms of the energy changes because they don't actually announce it early. All of that and more, go over it and check out the YouTube. Yeah, go back to Pokemon Sleep. Night, Debbie. But yeah, duck time. See you in the next one. Catch you, y'all.